I accidentally kicked a baby chair with a baby in it, causing it to spin almost 270 degrees out. I panicked and apologized profusely while bowing at the same time to the parents.
Still got space to bow. Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of NGL People, where we talk about things in life that matter. I'm Zeleny.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm yeah.
And today we are gonna do a react.
So today we want to read stories from a particular theme, okay? Our producers have very kindly picked out stories from Zel's favorite platform, Reddit.
Yes,
and
my new
today's
best
theme,
friend.
right, are work mistakes. Worst work mistakes, okay?
Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, so we actually have not seen these stories before. Our producers picked it out for us, so we totally do not know what we are going to react to.
I was once a waiter for a Thai restaurant during my schooling days 2 decades ago. The tables and chairs are all packed very close together, and it can be difficult to walk about during peak periods. I have big feet, size 45.
Oh my gosh, I already know what's gonna happen.
I accidentally kicked a baby chair with a baby in it, causing it to spin almost 270 degrees out. I panicked and apologized profusely while bowing at the same time to the parents.
Still got space to bow.
But I did not realize the jug of water in my hand bowed with me too and poured the water onto the baby's head.
Oh my goodness!
And guess what? I was fired on that day too. LOL.
Oh my gosh!
This guy,
Wow, this baby had
Okay, this is
definitely the poor baby.
first whiplash, then tsunami.
Oh wow!
Okay.
That's insane.
Okay, Zel, as a mum, right? If
Yeah.
somebody kick your baby seat and pour water over the same baby in 5
Wow.
minutes.
I'm just so glad that the water is not like hot, you know. To be honest, I would probably freak out. It's just like, my baby's in danger and like very hard to remain calm. But I would try to solve the situation first rather than, go head on onto, who is this person? Like, how can you do that?
I feel like the unfortunate thing about some of these mistakes is that there's a very real impact. So for example, your baby getting rained on by a jug of water, or even sometimes, let's say, like, I used to work in F&B, right? And like one of my greatest fears when I top up a customer's cup of water, right, is that the lid will fall out and the entire jug of water will spill all over them. And I've seen it happen before. Okay, thankfully it didn't happen from me, but I've seen it happen
Was it hot
before
water?
and room temperature. But like in a case like that,
Usually it's
there's
the
nothing
teapot,
else to be done.
the cha hu, right? Then they start the Chinese.
Then it's like even just like room temperature, those kind of plastic jug. But
Yeah.
I feel like if you are the customer in that situation, obviously it sucks to be where it might spoil your entire day and your outfit is ruined and things like that.
Yeah.
But to me, I also feel like at the end of the day, it's a sincere accident.
Yep.
Like the service staff obviously didn't mean to pour water on you, and even if you get very angry, that service staff already feels like shit. So
Yeah.
being angry is normal lah, but
Yeah.
I feel kicking up a big fuss and then
Yep.
making sure that the service staff pays for it or service staff is fired. Personally, I feel that's a bit of an extreme reaction for
Yeah.
something that is a sincere accident.
Oh, I just remembered like something that I witnessed at a restaurant. This waitress, she's quite old. I think maybe like 60 years old. And then she brought the wrong order to like a customer. And then in the end, the guy kicked up a big fuss. He was like there with his family, so got kids, everything. And the whole scene was very ugly. I mean, the guy called the manager, and I think he said something quite mean. Or he said that like, why is she still working? She's so old, she can't even like memorize.
That's so mean.
Like her memory and all that affected. Why you still let her go and like take people's orders? Because I can understand, right, that maybe as a customer that was directly impacted, like maybe you yourself, you had a bad day and it's just hard to control your emotions. But I feel that if you are in that restaurant, but you're not directly impacted, you actually might be able to do something.
Yep.
So what we did was that same waitress came to serve us as well. So we just told her like, hey, like, hope that doesn't affect you that much. Like you still do a good job lah, and these things happen. So I think like if I were to see this and maybe I'm not, the mom of the child or what, right? But I can see that waiter, really felt so bad about it, right?
For sure.
I might just, encourage that person.
generally, I think this kind of service industry one, right, it's very very harsh one. So I think as customers, I think we can be a bit more understanding. But I think as a service staff yourself, like let's say if you're part-timing or if you're working, I think this is the reality that if you work in a service like industry like that, right, honestly, it's very hard to please customer. Usually customer always right as whatever. But I guess just really learn like mistakes and accidents will happen one for sure. Generally, I feel that this kind of thing, if you cannot fire, right, you're that dispensable, right? So they have a reputation to upkeep like the restaurant, therefore they will confirm sack you. So don't take it personally, I feel. But let's say one day you sway and you do this, then what should you do?
Say sorry.
Say sorry. I feel personally, I think based on personal reflection, right, I think that what's important is how you respond. Don't react. Don't like, very lost what to do. But I think very importantly, maybe for this case, like the baby one, right? I think the first important priority is to make sure the baby's okay. Because that's what the parent will be concerned about. Like the baby, maybe not about the water, actually, it's really about falling, right? Then make sure the baby's okay. Then let's say if you pour something on the person's dress, then I think the first thing that the customer will think about is, my dress is stained. Maybe the first thing, your priority is that, sorry, there's a restroom here. Let me help you. Like you can go and clean that. I think that's the first thing that they will think about. So instead of being apologetic and being defeated and whatsoever, maybe solve the priority first. Then after that, whatever we cannot fire or whatsoever, at least you leave a different impression at the end of how you respond.
It's true. I think as a customer, I would actually see that, actually this guy really tried his best, tried her best, to help. And I would remember that. Yeah,
we are all humans. We will make mistakes.
True lah.
Never dropped anything before, man. Right? You have a story? One more story?
A well-liked director of our art department was leaving for another company. He crafted a beautiful and inspiring message which announced his departure, how much he'd enjoyed working with us, and how he was now on to a new adventure. He sent the message to the entire company. One of his junior employees accidentally replied, all. How her life was devastated, she was heartbroken, and she was going to be despondent over losing the best lover she'd ever had. He was married, not to her, and had 3 children.
What?
Huh? The Bon Voyage celebration was quietly cancelled. He left silently 10 minutes after the reply had been sent. Without understanding the mail system, she tried to do a recall all and sent, please don't read the message this is attached to. It was a private message between colleagues. Whoo boy, that was an interesting day.
She
What a farewell.
So she basically outed him lah.
Wow.
And herself. Wow.
Oh my gosh, guys. So, okay, I mean, when we hear a story like that, I believe everybody is kind of shocked. As the people around her, right? How do you respond to that,
I think I'll ask a lot of questions first before I consult.
You want the tea, right?
Wait a minute. So what happened? Can you tell me?
As in, you'll go to her, is it?
If I'm
really?
a friend. If I'm a friend. Right? That's the context, right? If I'm a friend, how would I go out to her?
Yeah, I feel like if I'm just another colleague, right, I will not approach her. Because it's not me lah to go and like, I heard you slept with him tell me what, but I won't do that lah. So to me, the least I will or the least I could do is I'm just going to give you space to go and think about what you've just done. But I feel if this person happens to be my friend or maybe somebody that actually I worked with in the company, right? It's very weird to just like pretend that nothing happened.
That's
when you just
cannot pretend because you send to everyone, you know your friend received it.
Some people will just don't talk about it lah.
Yeah, but
I find it weird to not talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So you must at least don't act like you don't know or never see your friend.
Yeah.
You definitely should check in, if this person is your friend, in the workplace.
But what does checking in mean?
Hey, you okay, ma? How are you?
I think it's definitely not to rub salt into the wound, right? Like
Serves you right, that kind of.
Yeah, but I think I would go to her and say like, hey, how are you feeling?
How are you feeling lah?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then see how the conversations go from there. Like, cause just leave it open. She could share about how maybe she was hurt by that relationship, or maybe it's about her future prospects in the company. I mean, there's so many different things that she could be feeling, right? So maybe as a friend, a work friend, like I would just take what she share, and try my best not to be too judgy. Yeah, I mean at the start lah.
Yeah, and I feel like you reaching out doesn't necessarily mean you approve of what has happened. And it's a bit like what we said in one of our episodes previously about being brutally honest with your friends. If you remember, we talked about like, actually what would you do if you found out one of your close friends is like cheating? Yeah. And like to me, I would check in on you and connect with you because you're my friend. But I would make it pretty clear that that's not what I stand for. And I really don't think that that's something that you should be doing.
Yeah, it's a bit like, hey, like you screwed up and it's really bad. And I think you know that it's really bad, but I still care for you. You know, you're human. We all make mistakes. We all have the worst versions of ourselves. But like, I just want to let you know that even though you have outed yourself, but I'm still here. If you want to like go through this journey together lah.
And I think how they respond to that then is their decision lah. But at least as a friend or as a close colleague, you at least signal to the person that you are there as some form of like support if they want to take it.
I was in a creative agency, so I was client servicing. So I actually am the middle person where we get the feedback from the client and then pass it to the creative team for them to make the changes. So so this particular piece of work, right, or rather the client is very particular about the copywriting. Yeah, so she picked out all the, like different, not just like grammar mistakes, but also maybe like how sentence structure and everything. Like basically, you imagine like you come back with a test paper, right? Everything is like red color one. Yeah. So then I didn't want to like, I wanted to kind of not let the morale of the team be affected because this was like many rounds of changes already. So like when I sent the email to the team, right, then I said jokingly the client is a grammar that N word. Okay. Yeah. So like, please be careful. Please check. Okay. Before we send the next version. So I sent the email and guess what? Guess who I sent it to? No. I sent it to my dear client and I had no idea. I don't know why. Like maybe
you didn't even know?
I didn't know until the client called me. Wow. And then she was like, I just saw your recent email and I'm not very appreciative of it.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what email? So when I saw it, I was like, well, I think like my heart stopped . Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, then I was like, I didn't know what to do. I think I was like maybe first 3 months in a job, I thought I was going to get fired. Yeah, I called like my client like the worst name possible, but she wasn't supposed to hear it. Yeah, so I went to tell my supervisor, right? Then my supervisor was like, so there was no reaction, which is I think the worst, right? It's like
they're just stunned.
Yeah, she's like, wow. Then she was like, I don't know how to help you. Wait, let me go and think. I was like, oh no, I felt so bad. But the only thing that I could do was to apologize, right?
Wow, that's
yeah, so that was, I remember that one. Yeah, fresh out of uni. Yeah, worst email mistake. Like, always check, okay, who you send like things to. Like when you screenshot something.
I believe the lesson here is integrity. Don't say it behind the back lah.
No, you can say whatever, but not
what the heck, Zell?
Hey, but because of emails, mistakes like that, there's a function in the email where you can actually delay your sending. So I click send, right? Now it has a 10-second lag.
Yeah, you can cancel the sending, right?
Yeah,
but you have to go and check.
True. I think for your case, you don't even know that you sent it to the client.
Wait, why you check before you send?
No, different.
Okay, so tomorrow, you must check what you send.
Sometimes you just don't want to check, very lazy. But the mistake can be, you try to, there are sometimes you type an email, then you want to go to the next line.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to go to the next line or I forget how to. Then sometimes you press wrong, you press Control Enter.
Oh, then you
actually
send the email.
Yeah, so your email I type very long, right? Then I type one email very long, right? Then after that I want to go on to the next line, right? To go on to my next point, right? I accidentally hit send. Like, then send already.
Oh yeah, but now there's a function, right, in the that you can do the 30 seconds lag or whatever.
Yeah.
That
was
I never
good tip.
Yeah, that means you never send enough email.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't make mistakes when I send emails.
Yeah, and don't
famous last words.
I think you just jinx it.
Yeah, and don't badmouth your client in front of your client. I mean, okay, don't badmouth your client.
Behind the back. Okay, so what will you all say to somebody who has made such a work mistake before? As someone who has first-hand experience.
Sucks to be you lah.
Suck it up lah.
Yeah,
I
just say
think we
sorry.
were coming to this episode hoping to find empathy, but instead you get the hard
We
truth.
stand in solidarity.
Right. That's the revised version.
You are not alone.
I would speak for people who have made the mistake and like how do you recover from it, right?
Yeah.
So I feel that don't run away. don't deny. It's true lah. You have to suck it up lah, because it is on you, right?
It's true. And denying is the worst lah. You will look damn stupid.
Correct.
Yeah.
And actually, like when I made that mistake, right? Then when I told my boss, I also like didn't want her to apologize on my behalf. Like I wanted to make things right myself because it was on me, and I wanted to like just also, I was sincerely like apologetic towards not just the client but also to my boss, because it kind of reflects also on like the company, right? Yeah. So I think like I just suck it up, just called her, and just apologize. But my boss was also with me, so at least like there's also that accountability as well, which the client did appreciate lah. So in the end, like when we went back for another meeting with her, right? Then she just like laughed about it.
Wow.
Yeah, in the end. So it was okay. Thank God. I didn't have to like, find another job after that. And I also triple check like everything, and I make sure that whatever that I say, even if it, gets sent to the wrong platform, it doesn't like demean anyone, even though I didn't intend for it to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like you touched on quite an important theme, which is ownership. I feel actually that's quite a big thing in becoming an adult, Like as you graduate, you start work and you want to be a mature adult. I feel like in many areas of our lives, actually a big thing is learning to take ownership. So you don't externalize like your decisions and your mistakes. You know that things that you decide, you decide for yourself. Sometimes it is influenced by the circumstances, but the ultimate decision is really still ours lah. So if we make a mistake, while circumstances could have made it difficult, we have to own the part where it is ours. And that's the part where we can continue to like work on and grow and move forward lah.
Yeah, and I also want to say, right, that I think it will feel very, very sucky at that moment. Like you just hope that the whole earth will swallow you up, and you just don't want like, and you would know that it will get out, to people, and then you might be like the laughing stock, for like that few days and stuff like that. And people could like look at you differently or have, assumptions about you and stuff like that. And it will be very sucky for a period of time. But know, right, that it will pass. Yeah, I think like it's going to be very bad for that few days. I guess depending on the extent of mistake, could be like a few weeks. But know that it will feel like the whole world to you right now, and your whole world like is crumbling, right, and crashing. But after a few weeks, and also depending on how you respond to it, how I think people do look at that and remember that as well, like how you recover, how you like take ownership. And then after that few days or few weeks, right, you will be okay, man. You will really, really be okay. I keep looking at the camera because I feel like a lot of people like,
I think especially
just
if it's
like,
your first job and your first big work mistake, it's quite crazy lah.
It's so bad, I felt like, wow, I cannot like work in this industry anymore, because like everybody will know this and all that. But actually, I survived. Like, and you also can survive. You'll be okay. Just, don't run away. Like, it will, but just own it, suck it up, and like just be honest and sincere about how you want to do better. Yeah.
But say real, this kind is usually you make mistake in your first job lah. I think everyone will confirm have stories about their first job. But also it also depends on, I think, like the nature of your work. Like if your work is so professional, like very, very serious kind, then if you make this kind of mistake, then you will feel that wow, very jialat. Like I make this mistake that is like cannot recover. But let's say you work in a company that is a bit more chill, then the person who received the bad thing, right, is someone that can be chill about it. Yes, you can type very professionally over email, right? But you make a mistake like that, right? Maybe don't go about the professional way to say sorry, but maybe on a relational way, call the person instead of sending an email. I think don't send email already. Just call the person and say, hey, sorry, can I buy your coffee? Like be relational about it, be sorry about it, be humble about it, instead of like the whole, oh, I'm sorry, like autocorrect, whatever. I mean, don't lie about it, of course, like owning it up. But I think maybe like your company don't need to be so professional until
match the vibe lah.
Yeah, match the vibe lah. Maybe they are chill about it, then be chill about it instead of like swallowing yourself up. I think it's okay.
It's true. So if you've recently made a work mistake, if you really, really need help, maybe reach out to someone within the company who you trust, either your supervisor or a fellow peer who you can get advice from. So you don't just make that decision alone, but know that many, if not all of us, have made some mistake or another
So
in
many,
our career.
I got so many more. Y'all can like DM me.
Yeah,
We can have a
and
coffee.
You will move past it lah. You
will.
really cannot go back to school or change industry or. I'm kidding.
You can.
You'll
you
be
can
fine.
do it. Yeah, you'll be fine.
And with that, we've come to the end of our episode for today. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you've enjoyed it. And if you like more of our episodes, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You can find us on socials at ngl.people on Instagram and TikTok. And you can also join our Telegram channel where we share behind the scenes footage as well as information about our upcoming parties. And if you've not yet subscribed to our channel, but you've been watching our episodes, give us a subscription.
No.
Click right over there and we will see you in our next one. Bye.
Bye.